Everyone, it's Cass. Welcome back to my channel, What Cass Read. Today I'm going to bring you some fall reading recommendations. I was watching so many fall reading recommendations, but a lot of them were geared toward Halloween. And now that Halloween is over, what do we have left to read? It is finally fall here in Texas. The weather is finally starting to get cooler, the leaves are starting to get crunchier, and I wanted to recommend some books to you that you could still read during this fall season as you cozy up in your blankets and your drinks and all that good stuff. So the first book that I want to mention, this is Nevermoor, The Trials of Morrigan Crow, written by Jessica Townsend. Book 2 is actually coming out very, very soon. That's called Wondersmith, and I cannot wait. This was one of the biggest surprises of books that I've read this year. I rated it 5 out of 5 stars. This is a middle grade novel about a young girl named Morrigan Crow, and she was born on a very, very, very unlucky day. The unlucky part about it is that all the town's bad luck is blamed on her, and on her 12th birthday she's supposed to die. But as these things usually happen, on the stroke of midnight on her 12th birthday, a mysterious figure comes to whisk her away to the land of Nevermoor, and she has this really amazing magical adventure. There's a talking cat, there's an umbrella like underground tube thing, and it's amazing. So this is a middle grade novel. I just feel like you have to put aside the fact that it's middle grade if you're not a middle grade reader and give this a try. It's so magical, and with the second book coming out, I'm just so amped for it, so hyped for it, and I just feel like it just gives you all of those like really fun new adventure feels. There's always something new around the corner, and this is the kind of book that I like to read during the fall season. This next book that I want to recommend to you all for the fall, this is The Falconer, written by Elizabeth May, and it follows Lady Elena Cameron, 1800 Edinburgh, and she's a fae hunter. I feel like the aesthetic of this book is so fall to me, with Scotland, with the cold nights that she's out and about fighting fae, the balls that she's a part of. This is going to be a really fun read for some of you if you really like YA fae reads. So I want to recommend this to you if you are a fan of fae adventures, can't get enough of it during the fall season. I think The Falconer could be a really good pick for you. The next book that I have to recommend, I always love recommending this book. This is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. There's a ton of people that have read this on BookTube, but I just feel like since this is so atmospheric, so woodsy, it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but like only just, and the kind of magic in here influences nature, influences the woods. This just screams autumn to me, and of course this cover is super autumnal as well. Naomi Novik is one of my favorite fantasy writers. This is one of my favorite fantasy reads, and I also reviewed Spinning Silver earlier this week. These two books are a part of some of these fairy tale retellings that Naomi Novik is branching out on, and they're not companion novels. You can read one without the other. This one is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, but again, only just. And while this one is really influenced by the wood and nature magic, this one brings in cold winds, cold vibes, cold feelings. There's the magical woods in here as well. So I feel like both of these could be really great fall reads. Like this one more autumnal, this one to bring you into like those really cold winter nights. I want to branch out just a little bit. I feel like mystery novels go great with fall as well. And so this book just came out. This is Lethal White, written by Robert Galbraith. I have not read this yet. This actually is on my list of books that I want to read before the end of 2018. I did make a video on that. And this is the newest installment in Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling's Comoran Strike series. So that includes Cuckoo's Calling, The Silkworm, Career of Evil, and now Lethal White. You know I'm a primarily fantasy channel, but I feel like these kinds of mystery, suspense, detective stories can be really great while you're all cozied up and it gets a little cold outside as well. And the last book that I have to recommend, this is The Changeling, written by Victor Levalle. This was described as a literary horror novel. Now, not horror in the sense of like Halloween-y horror. This is just weird and creepy, and I like it. It takes place in New York. It follows a young man named Apollo. Him and his wife have their first child, but a tragedy strikes. His wife and his child go missing, and this book follows Apollo's tracks of trying to find his child and figure out what exactly happened. It gets a little weird, It gets a little crazy, but it also gets a little fantastical, and I am here for it. I do have a full spoiler-free review of this up on my channel as well. This was one of the first books that I read for the year of 2018, and I loved it. I think I rated this 4 out of 5 stars. So that was a really short recommendations video, because there's not that much of fall left. But if you wanted some books that had nothing to do with Halloween, but still wanted something cozy and give you some of those autumnal vibes, I hope that those books will be useful for you. And let me know what your fall reading recommendations are down below. If you want, you can follow me on my social media. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. It's at WhatCassRead. It's the same as this channel, so it should be super easy to find. And then my Goodreads link is always going to be down below if you're looking for some of the other things that I've read and what I've rated them as. Otherwise, you know how these videos end. I'll talk to you later. Bye.